Okay, now we're going to start activity 5, and this brings in blood typing. This brings up some really interesting phenomena. So, first off, we have something that is called codominance. In the world of codominance, what it means is two alleles are both dominant. You would see them both. So, if we were to go back to that example from an earlier activity where in Snapdragons, red and white red was incompletely dominant over white, so they blended together. Well, in tulips, red and white are codominant. So they don't blend together. Instead, you get a tulip that has like red and white stripes. You see both colors in different parts of the flower. So in the blood typing example, A and B are codominant. If a person gets both of those alleles, they would be blood type AB because they are both dominant. And they are both dominant to the O blood type. So if a person gets AO, A is dominant to O, they would be blood type A. But A and B are both codominant. The other issue here is something called multiple alleles. And all the other problems that we have been working with, there were only two alleles. You could be tall or short. You could be red or white. You could be a hemophiliac or not. Well, here you could be A or B or O. There are three alleles, and actually there's more than that, but we're not going to get into that at this point. So the textbook uses the example where you talk about immunoglobulins, and they use the I and then A for blood type A, and the I and B for blood type B, and those are both codominant, so they are written with capital letters. O is written as a little lowercase I, and it doesn't get an O, it's just the lowercase I means O. That's how all textbooks code this, and if you want to solve your problems that way, again, awesome. And in fact, I think they even do a little I for the I, which that's unique to your textbook, I believe. Excuse me. The way that I was taught to do this is A is just A, B is just B, and O is just a little lowercase o. You, again, code your problem however you want to. Like I said, your code is there to help you solve a problem. Writing it with I's and stuff makes things messier, so I don't like to do that. Okay, so problem number 1. Determine the potential genotypes and phenotypes for the offspring of a mother who is heterozygous for blood type A. Okay, if she's heterozygous but blood type A, she can't be AB because then she would be blood type AB. The only way she could be heterozygous type A is to be AO. Father is heterozygous for type B. Same notes. That means he's got to be BO. So, our Punnett square looks like this. Mom. Why do I keep making my Punnett square smaller and smaller? I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to try to make it bigger on the next one, I promise. Dad looks like so. Genotype of the mother, we got. Genotype of the father, we got. Potential genotypes for the offspring, we have those written in the boxes. Potential phenotypes for the offspring. Now, this would be the actual blood type. And for our blood types, we have a potential child is AB. We have a B. BO is not a blood type. You've never heard of a person with blood type BO. A is a blood type. AO is not. And then O is a blood type. Now, if you had done this using this code, I told you I was going to write things bigger. I'm going to write things bigger. Okay, it would have looked like mom would be IA and then little I. And dad would have looked like IB little I. So when you put all that together, you get IA, IB, IB, I, A, I. That's the same thing as that. Whichever way you solve it, booyah for you. Okay, number 2. Determine the potential genotypes and phenotypes for the offspring of a mother with the phenotype of blood type O, and the father has a phenotype of blood AB. Okay. So mom is O, and dad is AB. potential genotypes for the offspring are what we have in the boxes. Potential phenotypes, both of these are blood type A, both of these are blood type B. It's not asking for percentages, that's why I'm not giving you percentages at this point. It's just asking for potential phenotypes. Okay, problem number 3. A child's phenotype is blood type A. Mother's phenotype is blood type O. Determine the potential genotype for the child. Okay, so this child could be A or A O. We don't know his second letter, except we kind of do because his mom is this. That means his mom can only give an O to the child, and so we know his second letter has to be an O. And so if we were to put this into a Punnett square, we put mom on the top here and fill in her letters. The only way that she could make a child who is blood type A is if dad had a blood type of A and filled in one of these with at least an A. So basically what we're saying here is if we solve this backwards, we know kid can't be this because mom didn't have a big A to give him. And so he has to be this. But I'm probably getting ahead of myself. Potential genotypes of the father. Okay, so we know the father has to have an A in order to have a child with an A. This second letter, because we have this box that has a child with blood type A, it could be anything. He could be AO, he could be AA, he could be AB, he could be any of the blood types and make that child right there. And so basically what we're saying is dad could be blood type A or AB. Since it asks for the genotype though, he could be AO, AA, or AB. Okay. If you have previously typed your blood, record your phenotype and potential genotypes below. If not, type your blood following your instructors. Okay, you guys can't do this because you don't have the supplies to do this. If you happen to know it because you've donated blood, see, I think my blood donation card is up here. Let's see. I'm going to show you anything actually valuable. It's the very last one. If you've ever donated blood before, on the card it tells you what your blood type is, so you can look at that. Now, notice we have not talked about positives and negatives at this point. That's a whole other gene. That's the Rh factor, so don't worry about that. But if you happen to know that, like that said that I'm A positive, so I know I'm that, but I don't know if I'm that or if I'm that. If I go back to my parents and I ask them what they are, I can figure some stuff out. I also have a kid. My kid is that. That's how I know that that is my blood type. I wouldn't know that though if I didn't know that my kid happened to be that particular blood type. So basically what I'm saying is you can do the first part of number 3, but unless you happen to know your blood type, you really can't do the second part of number 3, and don't worry about that.